We just spent, Trump just signed $1.3 trillion worth of funding for the year. And all this funding went to, half of it went towards the military, buying new jets and equipment. I know for a fact that we have what my buddies in the military describe as a cemetery for equipment that just sits there and doesn't get used. How can that equipment be made useful to be put back into military spending rather than just keep throwing money at the military, especially since the Pentagon cannot justify $700 billion being lost?
Well, it's no secret that I believe that we spend way too much money on our military hardware, and that we do not spend an equivalent amount of money on our human assets, our professional military members and our veterans. And if you look through history, especially over the last 30 years, you will see that when Republicans are in Congress, they up spending on hardware. When Democrats are in Congress, they up spending on human assets. The Democrats are the only ones that have given our professional military raises. President Obama had to sign an executive order to give them a raise. And I believe that we need to pay our professional military at the same level that we pay private contractors. It is completely unfair for a professional military member to be in Afghanistan and be making this amount, but yet a private contractor from Halliburton is making 5 times the amount of money that person is making for doing the exact same job. If we have that money to spend to Halliburton, then we need to put that money back into our human assets. So, with that said, I can only say that Democrats in Congress tend to focus more on the human assets of our professional military. I have proposed legislation that has been talked about with Congressman Castro from San Antonio, Texas, that is called Enlistment to Eternity legislation, which would protect a person from the time they enlist in our professional military to eternity, which means that we would somehow merge the VA with the Department of Defense to have caseworkers that would be with a professional military member from the time they enlist to the time of eternity, which means there will be no gap in anything they need. So you will not have a homeless veteran. You will not have a person who is suffering from PTSD who does not have help. And we owe that to our professional military members. So I proposed enlistment to eternity legislation. I believe that is something that we can do that will pay for itself.